righty, so good afternoon, everyone. I am happy that you're all here. Thank you very much for being here. This is our second episode of You Can Move Mountains. And for those who are not here with us, but who are viewing us, I want to thank you and welcome all of you for being here. Anytime that you would like to catch any of the episodes, you can turn to You Can Move Mountains on our YouTube channel, which is from APTV, or you can go onto the Asbury Park City's website, and you will see more programming by APTV. Evan is our media technician. He's doing a wonderful job in recording us, and I want to say thank you, Evan, for taking time out to do this. Thank all of you for being here. So, last month, we spoke about you having the power and the purpose and an assignment to achieve whatever goal you set. Most of the time, we don't know who we are. We don't realize that we have purpose. And we only tap into our source of purpose when there's an emergency situation. So if you're being evicted, or if there's a crisis on your job, you might say, oh, what am I going to do? And you tap into that emergency and you reach inside yourself and you find that power. And then you say, I don't know how I did it. And then that purpose, we say, what's the purpose of the chair that you're sitting in? What's the purpose of the glasses that you're wearing? Everything that has been made by man, there's a reason for it. And there's a reason that you exist. And so with that being said, the Creator created man and woman in his image, and then gave each of us a snippet of his power. And that means that we can affect change in our life and in the lives of others. The problem is that we get afraid of who or what we're supposed to do. And fear is something that we're going to talk about today, because fear can paralyze you, it'll cripple you, it stunts your personal development and your growth. So I want you to think about something that you might be afraid of. Maybe heights, maybe mice, spiders. Or maybe you're afraid to move out from a relationship or from a job. Or maybe you're afraid to speak up because you're afraid that somebody will judge you or say, oh, you're not doing so well. The Creator has created us not to have fear within us. There are 366 fear not verses in the Bible. That's one for every day of the year, including leap year. And in 2 Timothy verses 1 through 7, God says that he has not given us a spirit of fear, but what he has given us is power, sound mind, and he has given us self-discipline and love. And what that means is that we are not supposed to be cowered down or controlled by fear, but yet we are. So I want you to think about what's happening in the world today. What's going on that you might be afraid of right now?
War and rumors of war.
Yes. Now why? How is that affecting you?
It affects me because I don't feel safe to move about as I've been doing for the last few years. I'm very conscious when I go to big places, even to a place like Walmart. Mm-hmm. I'm very conscious, and I try to take in. My husband was a Marine, and so he would always walk into a room and he would case the room, always. Mm-hmm. And so I find myself doing that whenever I'm out, or if I'm parked in my car and I see folks walking up like they're coming towards me. Mm-hmm. I lock the doors, not that that's going to help any, but I'm fearful. Yes. I'm fearful, yes. Especially at the age I am. Mm-hmm. I am very fearful, and I shouldn't have to be. My only fear would be just getting sick and dying a natural death, mm-hmm. not death by some crazed person or some person filled with hate. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Okay, that's one. What do you think?
You know, I guess that's been, the last week has been scary because we're on the East Coast. We're New York, DC, one of them are going, and we're right in the radius if it's nuclear. And, you know, and even if not, I mean, I have family in New York, I have family in DC area. But right now, I have a nephew, 27 years old. He's a policeman in Atlanta, but he joined the National Guard a couple of years ago. And in August, they sent him to Jordan, which is the country right next to Israel. And it's been a rough week for him. He's been able to text and call, but he said one day the bombs were falling and they had to run, and he said he thought it was going to be the last day of his life. And he's doing computer work that could be done here. You know, he doesn't have to be over there.
Yep.
So he was supposed to come home in May. We hope that is still his date to leave. But who knows? We have a crazy person running the country, and he's selected other crazy people around him that don't care. And then they're messing with voting rights, and you know, all this goes on and on. So those are the things that right now I'm afraid of. That they're, you know, I'm encouraged by people voting for the party I'm in, because, you know, none of them are perfect, but that other party is insane. Like the stuff they're allowing to happen. And I'm really discouraged because our Congress is just a mess. So those are the things that scare me the most.
Okay.
I don't have a big fear of mice and stuff like that.
I do.
My niece is nuts when she thinks there's a mouse in the room.
Yeah, aren't you? Nothing right now?
Yeah.
Okay, Sierra?
Yeah, I do think like the war and everything, you know, that's definitely fearful, something to be afraid of. But I think my biggest thing that I've seen that's been impacting my family is the issue with all the immigration stuff. People being deported and all that. My grandfather, he's from Dominican Republic, and he applied for his citizenship right when all of this started. So they're making him jump through hoops and everything with like, you know, hey, if you mess up one thing, you're getting sent out the country. So it's like that's really affecting my family, because there's a lot of us that are fearful of who's going to be here, who can go outside, who could be safe walking around, and
Exactly.
that's the worst part about it for me.
Exactly, okay. Thank you.
How long's he been here?
Hi, how are you?
He's been here, he's in his 60s, late 60s, but he's been here since he was probably about 17 or 18.
Oh, God. That's awful.
Just want to put a pause for a minute. Marcia has joined us. Hi. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I finally got it. I missed last month, so.
That's okay, we're happy that you're here.
Yeah, thank you for the invitation.
Oh, thank you. What we're talking about is fear and what we're currently feeling and fearing right now. So I'm going to go to these two ladies and then I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Okay? Desani?
Okay. Hi. I would say mine is probably in a different direction from that. Of course, I fear that. Yes, definitely. But with me, it's kind of like trying to navigate life as a new grad. I went straight out of high school to college, so I had no breaks. This is my first one. Even though I'm thinking about going back. But it's kind of like, because like I just graduated in May, and I'm struggling to find a job right now, especially in my field. I went for journalism and public relations. And my fear is that all this was for nothing, I guess. Like, you know, like I have that big fear because me, I'm a Virgo, I'm very organized. Everything has to like go in order for me. You know, it's just always been like that with my mind. I've been trying to change that because, you know, we can't control things. Like, you know, sometimes it's not going to happen the way you want to. And I always try to understand that. But with me, it's really just that because, like, knowing how my family grew up and stuff, I wanted to, like, break that cycle. Always wanted to. So, like, I was very hard on myself. I made sure I was very involved, things like that. I've made lots of connections, but, like, not an amount. And I'm trying to, like, you know, really pursue my dreams and kind of, like, you know, like, connect myself to, like, my career so I can live the life that I want to live. But it seems like it's so difficult, like, and I feel like the job market is horrible right now. So my fear, basically, in a nutshell, is that I did all this for nothing. Yeah, like I just hope that like it'll turn. But yeah, that's kind of like a fear that's in my mind right now. Does that align with that? I don't know.
No, that's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no,
That's big.
that's huge.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so, especially with AI.
Yeah, that too, that's taking
Yes,
lots of
yes.
positions, things
So,
like that, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Tati?
It was up to like ice and just feeling like I did everything for nothing. Like basically
Yeah.
similar to what she said. I meant said. I just feel trapped, like getting out of college and everything. I feel trapped, stuck, like I don't know what's next. You know? Like high school is just like I like how I kept myself going. But now it's like this is the real world now.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do now. There's no helping hand for real. Like, and then with ice, it's just like my mom, she's Haitian and everything. So it's like family of immigrants and like those who came through TPS and all those. I'm just scared that something can happen and I'll just be like worried and everything.
Yes.
So, and not just for my family, or even those that are just like being taken.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
everything. I just feel for them, and like I just don't want.
Exactly. Okay, all right. Thank you. Marsha?
Yeah, it's a really good question. And I'm thinking about different levels of fear because, there are fears that have been with me for a long time because, for example, I'm fearful of heights, I'm fearful of being in enclosed places. I don't go over hills, I don't go through tunnels. So those are fears that I live with, But then there's also the fear that I am intentionally working with that has to do with a sense of that I want to live with purpose. So as I'm getting older now, I'm retired, so it puts you in a different position when you think about what the goals are for your life as opposed to you being at the beginning of your journey and worrying about what will happen there. So for me, it's like as I get older, I want to make sure that I'm stepping into places that are part of my purpose. And I'm driven by my faith. So now at this stage in my life, I don't want to be fearful of making decisions or taking steps that I should because it's about making a difference, in the lives of other people. And that's how I've lived my life for a long time. So I'm very conscious of those two levels of fears. Like just the other week, I wouldn't go to New York because of the tunnels. But I had to make myself go because I had a meeting I had to go to. So that you just grapple with it. It's just an ongoing thing. But then there's a fear that I was saying that's about intentionality, driving your life in a way that you are working in those areas that you want to work in. And that's where you really, in a way, you welcome that fear because it puts you in a position where you have to navigate through different kinds of questions. And when you win, when you overcome, or when you position yourself in a place where you want to be, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. So fears can be both challenging and victorious.
Exactly. Before I share my fear, that's what you can move mountains, because God says that if we have the faith the size of a mustard seed, that we can go to that mountain and we can say, move from here to there. But you have to believe, and you have to believe in yourself that you are able to do it. And our mountains, they are our problems. They are our fears and our challenges. And we have to be able to face them head on. I have a lot of fears, but one of the fears is getting older. Being on a fixed income and being taxed out of my home because property taxes are going up, up, and up. And I'm like, okay, I can only work so many hours, to pay. And where am I going to go? So that's a fear. Aging and aging out of the job market. I have a fear for my children, for my daughter, and for my son, and for my adopted daughters. Because, like you said, you've been to school, she's in school. What are you going to do? Outside, AI comes in, and where are you going to be? So these are fears that we have. I think of you with your 5-year-old. What job is going to be available for him when he turns 18 and he decides to go to college? What is he going to do? You know? So these are the things that we are plagued with every single day. And I have a fear of heights, I have a fear of mice, but those are the real, those things that make me stay up and think, what am I going to do? When we are afraid, we get paralyzed. It's that fight or flight or freeze. And we focus on the fear, and we're crippled. And that prevents us from believing in our higher power, and sometimes even in ourselves. Because like you said, you're stuck. So what do I do? And I don't have an answer for you. The only thing that I can tell you is that God has not given you a spirit of fear. You spoke about purpose. We all have a purpose. You have an assignment. There's a call for you. You are fully equipped to achieve your goals, but you have to get to know who you are and what talents and strengths you have inside, so that if you need to create a job, okay, or you need to be able to create a business for yourself, as long as we're upright and we're breathing and God hasn't called us home, there's something for us to do.
Amen.
There's something for us to do. And I think it's our job to find it and figure out what we're supposed to do. But I think sometimes, and this is open for discussion, I think sometimes we get into our comfort zone. We get real comfortable. I get comfortable because, see, I know that I have to pay my mortgage, I have to pay my utilities. If I don't, I'm going to get a foreclosure, I'm going to have my utilities cut off. If I don't pay my car note, they're gonna come and repo my car. I'm in my comfort zone. If I don't pay those things, now it's like, okay, what am I going to do? And I'm like, okay, I'm 2 months behind on my car note payment. They're gonna repo my car. So now I gotta figure out, what can I do to stop that repossession of my car? So now my imagination is working. I'm tapping into my power. So I'm gonna call them up and I'm going to say, I need to make payment arrangements. They don't want that car back. So they're gonna make payment arrangements with me. And if I promise to pay X, Y, Z, then they'll say, okay. That gives me more time. If I'm being evicted from my home, I know that I can tap into some resource, somebody out here, the community block grant here in Asbury Park, they have some money. Somebody can help me, I can call family. You see what I'm saying? We have to be able to be creative and tap into our own resource, our power, in order to figure out. But if you stay fearful, then when you go to look outside, your car is gone. Mm-hmm. Because you were too afraid to do anything. You see what I'm saying?
You know, I was just thinking, because what do we tell ourselves? Because we create the fear by telling ourselves stuff to make us afraid. We can easily do that. And I have to stop. Yesterday I was walking somewhere, I don't know what I said about myself. And I had to stop and say, that is not true, Juanita. That is not true. Stop tripping.
That's
It's not, I have to because if I don't, negate it that way, then it'll grow and I'll say it again and I'll believe it again. And I really have to stop doing that. I've had the last year or two I had to retire because I had some physical issues with my back. And so it's been a struggle physically for me, but the last 2 years were really rough. But I'm definitely I feel like I'm coming out of that. But it's really what you tell yourself. And I have to say, to the young ladies that are doing the college, that did the college and are in it, it was worth it. It was worth it because it's still a thinning out process where it thins out the herd, and you'll make it to the next thing that people without that won't. And I speak as somebody who didn't even get my college degree till I was 31. It took me a while between going to Howard for 2 years, then Brookdale, and then to Rutgers, but I managed. And I don't regret it. But right now, for me, it's negating the lies I tell myself about myself. You know, that you gotta catch yourself. Like, oh, that's stupid, why am I saying that? That's not even true. You know, so that's my thinking and how I'm getting past the fears that might pop up for me right now.
That is real true, because when we're fearful, just what you said, it's what you are saying to yourself. We all have that stinking thinking, right? What we think, and it says what we think we become. And so it's like when you have fear and it's talking to you, you got to punch it in its nose, because fear is a bully. Now, Sierra and I, we're phlebotomists, so we work at LabCorp, and we're constantly getting babies, no, right? Screaming because they don't want to.
Always.
Yes. And one of the things that I like to do is to go in. Some I can't calm down. Sierra's really good too. She knows how to calm the baby down. She has a very soft way of speaking, and she'll say, "Hi, how are you? May I see your arm?" And she talks to them, and she has this very soothing voice. And sometimes I like to play tough love. What's the matter with you? What are you afraid of? You know? And then I also like to give them the power to say, "May I see your arm? I'm going to tell you everything that I'm going to do," right? And I'm going to put the tourniquet on your arm. I want you to tap into your power. You can do this. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. But if it works, then I say, "Give me a high five." And they'll say, "I did it." No, scream it. "I did it." Because that gives you the confidence. I did it. And sometimes when we're afraid and we're thinking like what Juanita says, "Well, I can't do this." You want to start a business. And you go to a seminar and everybody says, "Oh yeah, you can do this." And you're like, "Yay." And you go home and you start working on your business plan. And then somebody says, "Well, how are you going to do that? Where are you going to get the money?" You know? Because now you hear all this negative talk. And that's the fear talking. Even though it may be coming from somebody else, it becomes a bully. And so what do we do when there's a bully? If somebody's taking your lunch money or pushing you up against the locker saying, "You better have this," what do we do with that bully? Well, y'all don't want to say? I'll tell you.
Well, you know what I would do.
Give them a good old punch. Punch fear right in its nose. And from where I come from, I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My mama taught me that when you get the bully down, you just give them the old shoe shine. And you keep them down. You give them the shoe shine and you keep them down. Because if you allow fear to take control, it becomes the bully. It dictates, it tells you what to do, when to do it, it impacts the decisions that you make. So what I tell the little ones is that I tell them, your parent is here. And what most parents will do when the kid comes in for lab work, they cover their eyes. The gentleman I had yesterday took the little girl's shirt and put it over her head. She was 14. And tears are streaming down her face, and I said, "No," and I took her shirt down. I said, "Look at what I'm doing." You have to face the fear. When you see the fear, when you see what it is, then you're like, "Oh, okay, I can handle this." The tears came down. There's nothing wrong with being scared. There's nothing wrong with crying, but you're in control. And that's what happened with her. And so she was like, "Oh, okay." That's what we have to do, because God did not give you a spirit of fear. We are not supposed to be cowards and be timid. We are supposed to face it. So what I'm going to ask you to do now, because we talked about I want you to get a little deeper this time. And I want you to write down, and nobody's gonna see it. Nobody's gonna see it, just you. Okay. You have it? So you're gonna read it, and I'm gonna start at this end first. And you'll read it, and then we're gonna have a discussion about it, okay? Juanita, you're first.
I'm not gonna read them out loud.
As long as it's not
Okay,
yours.
it's not mine.
Okay.
Struggling financially my whole life.
Okay. What's your thoughts on that?
I think everybody has that fear.
I'm-
Everybody at this table.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, someone who struggled financially in my early life, because I'm a Southern girl, raised in the country, and my parents were sharecroppers in the early part of my life. But one thing I look back on, and the family talk about often, we had love. We had love. We did not know how poor we were until I left home and saw how the other, because I was part of such a community. So I think you gotta look at your surroundings, and even though you are struggling, see how you got this far. That's what I tell my 28-year-old granddaughter and 27-year-old grandson. 1 foot in front of the other. If you can't do it one day at a time, do it 1 minute, 1 hour at a time. But there are resources, and what you have to do is surround yourself with people who want more. Because if you stay stuck and you stay with the same folk, that's what you're gonna do. You gotta move on up a little higher. And I'm not saying forsake your core group, but you got to look out. You got to see Angela. You got to see that Angela made it. If Angela made it, I can make it. I might have to ask Angela, how did you get here? How did you do that? But you just can't give up. I too, when we were talking about fear, my husband passed. I had a fear of being poor again. But he's been gone 10 years. And I still own a house in Asbury. Can you believe it?
That's right.
With all the taxes. So I'm just saying, you do one day at a time, one step at a time, and you look out at folks who are making it in spite of. In spite of. You can look around you in your same community, and you can see, oh, they did that. You know, I can do that. Well, why don't I ask them, how did they do it? How did they have a mindset? Because it really is a mindset that is fearful, but you just keep on. You just keep on. And that's what I'd say in terms of being poor. You might be poor financially, but you still make it. You're not homeless. And you just believe and surround yourself by positive people. Because if I'm a poor little country girl, if I align myself with a poor little country man, I'd still be a poor little country woman. But on the humorous side, I saw this handsome Marine. Just got out of the Marine. Now I'm 20. Got a brand new car and everything. He got his own apartment all furnished. That's who I want. That's who I'm just saying visions. You know, we have to speak it.
You do.
We have to speak it. So that's all I'm saying. We are all financially challenged right now for the most part, you know, with gas, with food, but we make it. We make it. And we can't say, woe with me.
Absolutely.
Can I just?
Be like that little train that said, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can.
That's right.
Can I just, I kind of want to ask questions, but I kind of want to just reply to like what you're saying. How do you feel about like?
I'm hard of hearing, and one of my hearing aid is not working, so you have to speak a little
I kind of
louder.
want to reply to what you're saying because I kind of think about like our generation today. So I want to know like kind of how do you feel about like, I know it changed a lot, and I like now today we have like people with too much pride. When you do try to reach out for help, we got gatekeepers today. Just so many things that can like block us and stuff like that. So like, I guess I want to say like, okay, so I'll give an example of myself. And I know people say never settle, but like that's been thrown my way a couple of times. So I don't know if that can kind of like help with like a change financially. But okay, so my example, I want to go into the journalism field. I got my journalism degree, but I'm not able to make as much money as I want to in that field right now. So say like people say, oh, maybe you can use your journalism degree as a hobby and create your own thing, and then you can actually get like a job in healthcare, and that'll help you financially. Like, how do you feel about like that? Or do you feel like people should stick to what they want to do, even though there may be like a delay? Because like
My own opinion, stick to what you
I
believe.
agree.
Stick to what you believe. That's your passion, that's what you want. And you said you have a degree in journalism. And see, I can't tell you what to do, but if I had that degree, if I had that skill, I'd be writing every journalist, everybody I know. One person I'd write is Don Lemon. He lost his job and he created another avenue, and he's making more money and freer than he's ever been. So I would reach out. I know it's difficult when you're young because I had those same doubts and questions. I'm old now, and so I would take more chances than I did when I was young, but I would suggest that you stick to what you want and reach out to people who are successful in your field. And when people come to you telling you what direction to take, just say, no, that's the direction you want to take. That's not the direction I want to go, but I appreciate you,
right.
you know.
I would also like to piggyback on that. You have something, we all have something. It's your imagination. God gave you that. You as a woman can birth babies, but you can also birth an idea. And you use your imagination and you build on that. First of all, I want you to give yourself some credit, okay? Number one, they said that anybody that comes from Asbury Park is nothing. You won a 5-year scholarship to Monmouth University, right? Okay. You went to Rutgers, and people didn't think you were gonna go, right? You have gone, and you're at Brookdale, and this young lady, and I'm gonna brag on my daughter too for a minute. This little girl was on the track team, and she couldn't run as fast as the other ones. But what Angie did, Angie ran. She kept looking behind her, but she kept on going. And this other little girl kept trying to catch up with Angie. Angie looked back, Angie kept going. She never gives up. She takes all the hardest courses because she's going into forensic medicine. She never, ever, ever gives up. And because she has a goal. And I can say, Angie, can you do, no, can't do it. Because it's not part of what she has planned. You do not walk away from what it is that you have planned. You have to give yourselves credit for what you have done, what you have achieved, what you have accomplished. That's important. That builds up that confidence in you. Mrs. Ricks spoke about mindset, being with people. You have to be with people that are like you. If you're with people that are just sitting back, I don't think I want to do anything today, sitting up here smoking some weed and drinking all day long, that's what you're going to be, right? You have to be with people that are ready to climb that mountain. And I know you weren't here for the other sessions, but that mountain that I was talking about, there's 3 stages. There's one that I call quitter. And quitter looks and says, oh, I got my Jimmy Choos on, I got my Timbs on, I just got my nails done, I got my lashes done. I'm looking at this thing, I don't think so. I'm gonna get dirt all in my nails. No. But what you want is up top. And then you get somebody that goes up that mountain and they sit up there for a little bit and they rest. But they get distracted because something good looks pretty nice up there. Starts talking to you, telling you, come on over here, and you start hanging out with them, right? And you may camp for a while, but you gotta get up. And then you gotta go and keep climbing. That's that third one. It keeps climbing. It's okay to take a rest, but you gotta keep climbing until you get to the top, if that's your goal. So it's who you hanging out with. Poverty is a mindset. And if you poor, that's because you choose to be honest about it, because you don't have to be, right? You don't have to be. I left Pittsburgh.
Your vision.
It's your vision. I left Pittsburgh and I said, I'm going to get into commercial work. I didn't know nobody. Came up here with my dad, found there was a freelance agent. What's this about? Oh, okay. They start sending me out. Sent Calvin out. The next thing you know, I'm doing commercials. I'm doing print work. It's about what you want. Because whatever you want, you can have. You're able to achieve your goals. That's the power that you have within you. And when you're fearful and you start making excuses, then yeah, you're going to sit back and you're going to say, oh, I can't do it because such and such and such. You have to choose what you want to do.
I just want to commend you guys for what you've been able to do as young people. It's a difficult world. Right? Our world was difficult too, but I think, you know, being older, we
it's
have
harder.
other.
It's much
yeah,
harder.
It's harder
this is
for
much
them.
harder, and you have, you know, social media, which too many young people I think rely on to make decisions. But sometimes the problem is knowing how to execute on something. So we can say, you know, God didn't give us a spirit of fear. He certainly gave you gifts and talents so that what you desire in your heart, that's really God-given. Your desire to be a journalist, and you might have other talents as well. But that's, if He gave it to you, then you're going to be able to use it. Now it's just trying to find the pathway. But execution is a really big thing, and I think one of the things that we all need, but young people need, is a mentor to help you work, you know, walk down that path. I teach at Rutgers, and you know, I run into young people all the time, of course, who are struggling with trying to find what's the pathway that they need to go through to get to the goal that they want to get to. And you know, being a faith person, I mean, first you got to talk to God all the time, every day, all day. You got to tell Him your problems. You got to tell Him your fears. You got to tell Him what's holding you back. And I believe that He will open up a way, a pathway for you. The other thing is to have a mentor who can work with you through the steps that you need to work through, whether it's confidence building, whether it's access to resources, access to people who may help you. Like, for example, being a journalist, have you done any internships? Have you reached out to papers in the area?
Yes.
Have you? Okay, good.
Like, I have lots of experience with
Okay.
print and stuff like that. It's just,
Hiring is difficult right now,
Yeah.
especially in journalism.
Mhm.
Social media is
Yeah.
very difficult,
Mhm.
yeah. So you may have to look at maybe intersectionality, intersecting journalism with some other subject matter
Yeah, I
area,
agree.
right?
Yeah.
But use your
But use
imagination
your imagination.
to create something, like I'm doing this,
right, yeah.
right? Okay, you know, I'm gonna talk to you because I got something for you too. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Mrs. Ricks?
Yes, mine says fear of self-doubt. That's a good one.
That is a very good one. Okay, who wants to start that? If you don't believe in yourself, that's it. You have to believe in that you can do it. And if you don't, then what happens? You're gonna sit there, I can't do it. It's always going to be, I can't. Because you don't believe in yourself. I'm not good enough. They don't like me. They don't want me. Right? You have to believe that, first of all, you were created for a reason.
Yeah.
And that you have been given power, and that's why are you here? There's a reason that you're here. Not just to birth babies, not to get married and take care of somebody. You're here for a reason. And you have to connect spiritually. A lot of us do not.
That's the problem.
And we have to connect spiritually. And when you do that, when you go into prayer, and I know it might be old school, but I'm serious, because what's going on out here in the world today is to pull you away from yourself. I'm gonna tell you this, I saw something on YouTube, I think it was, and they were talking about Rockefeller, and that they have taken, and it was a secret thing that they were talking about. They said, put metal in their mouths. So that's mercury, when they fill your cavity. Put that in their mouths so that that will throw off their vibration. Make them think that they're not good enough, so that they will always be hoping to be more than. let them think that they make them want more designer clothes, designer bags. And that way they will never be able to know who they are. Pull them away from their purpose. And when you do that, they are detached from themselves. And that's what's going on with a lot of us today. We don't know who we are. We wear labels that say, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm whatever. But that says what you do. It doesn't say who you are. And you need to take time to find out who you are. What was the original design for you? And that's why I keep talking about the power that you have within yourself. And when you recognize and realize that power, you can begin to affect change in your life. Anybody else have a comment about self-doubt?
I remember, I'm not the most rhythmic person. I'll be dancing, I'll get off beat, because I hear a different beat in my head, and then I'll keep on moving until I get back on beat. And there was a time I wouldn't dance in public, I only danced at home. But then, I don't know what happened, I was someplace, and I'm watching folks dance, and I said, they can't dance any better than I am. Some of them don't even care about the beat. At least me, I'm conscious of the beat. So now, whenever you see me and there is music, I'm out there. I know I'm not a dancer, but I'm out there dancing to the music that I hear or the beat that I hear up here. So my
See, but wait,
self-doubt.
I'm gonna stop you just real quick. You gave yourself the, I'm not a dancer.
Yeah.
You need to say, stop it. You just say, Jesse, that's not true. You're out there dancing, so obviously you're a dancer.
Yep, and you said you drop it like it's hot.
You didn't say you were a professional dancer.
This is Rick's
So
condition.
just, so
When
don't
I
ever
say-
say that again.
When I say drop it like a hot, I'm talking about at my age, when they say, how low can you go?
Oh, yeah, no, we know that. No,
I could get it all the way to the floor. And
Really?
they say, can you
Yes,
bring
you
it to
did.
the top
And
like
then
you
come
never,
right
never
back up.
stop? I'm that woman.
Okay.
But the doubt is, I do have doubt so much. But like Juanita said, I do a lot of self-talk. And sometimes I'm thinking something crazy, and I'll say to myself, Jesse, now you know that makes sense. You know, so we have the self-doubt, we just can't dwell in it. If we dwell in it only for a short time and then we move out. And if we are afraid to move out, we look at somebody who maybe has similar doubt and we see how they did, how they moved out. And that's what we do, because it's all about looking around you. Looking around you. If they can do it, why can't I do it? And so there's always going to be self-doubt. Don't think it's a bad thing. I think doubt sometimes motivates us to go in a different direction. Or doubt, say for instance, I was just telling Angela about me in chemistry. And that was the hardest thing for me. And my doubt was that I was not going to pass the chemistry course at Brookdale. And I passed it. With a C, I barely passed it. But I passed it, and as I was talking to Angela, I'm saying, did I really pass it, or did he just feel sorry for me? But nonetheless, I got a C, but I had so much anxiety and so much fear. So, because that's what doubt will do to you. Causes you anxiety and fear. And so we just have to talk ourselves through it, walk ourselves through it, look outside of ourselves, because a lot of times we don't look outside of ourselves. We internalize everything, or I'm not going to put myself here because I don't belong with them, or they'll see the real me. And most of us have doubts, but you don't know. Like you look at me, I was a truant officer when you were in school, and all I talked about was marking you and your sister late. Why are you coming late? At the same time, I had doubt as to whether I was doing my job right or whether I was sensitive to the people that I was marking late and taking to court. you know. Sometime I don't think I was, you know, just that doubt. So we just have to keep moving forward. Or if the doubt is so severe, we might need to talk to someone we trust.
Lack of resources to sustain myself.
Okay, anyone?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
It was kind of like
Oh,
mine.
sorry.
It was a lot like
Lack
mine.
of resources to sustain myself. Oh, yeah, yeah. I think that is sort of like what you.
That was the one I had too, similar.
Which shows
Rather
that, you know, we
things.
all suffer from similar fears.
Yes.
So we, you know, even though we might feel isolated, like I'm the only one that's going through this, but everybody is going through it.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
is,
The
yes.
Bible says, you know, every day we wake up with attacks from either our own self-doubts, the world, and the devil.
Mhm.
I mean, the devil is real, and those strongholds that he creates for us, the stronghold of fear, the stronghold of self-doubt, the stronghold of, you know, it may be even suicide. I mean, there's a lot of people who are suicidal because they just can't handle the world around them. And so, two things come to mind with that is that, you know, God made us on purpose for a purpose. So we have to figure out what that purpose is and really pursue that. The second thing is, you know, when we feel these self-doubts, when does it happen? Does it happen when we're with the wrong crowd? Does it happen when we are being asked to do something that, you know, maybe we're not feeling confident in doing? Is it because we don't have the information we need in order to secure financial stability? Maybe we need a workshop, maybe we need, you know, so you almost have to break it down, like you're studying something, you know, you're a student. So don't just stand there with the self-doubt, but actually begin to take it apart, begin to excavate it, begin to investigate. Turn yourself into a scientist, so to speak.
Thank you. Okay, would you please, Sierra, read yours?
Says, too much pressure from my family, not being able to break the cycle.
Okay, anybody?
I don't know, I mean, I don't know, my family, they pressured me, I was kind of rebellious, so.
You deserve that pressure, huh?
You know, so I don't, you know, I know it's hard for people to tell their families no, or, you know, but I guess you have to sometimes think, okay, it's coming from a place of love. You know, acknowledge it that way. Listen, and then, as we keep saying, make your own decision. Make your own decision, you know, and, yeah, that's, you know, I didn't feel like crazy pressure, because, you know, as much trouble as I got myself into at times, I still followed the path that my parents wanted me to follow. You know, graduate, go to college, get a good job, you know. But in between, you know, I was a communications major. And in between, I bartended, I waitressed, I did, you know, whatever I had to do. And then I got a great internship that sent me to Philly, and they, you know, I was there with them and making really good money. And but I do like say stick with the journal, because I wish I had, you know, I did not. I was like down in Philly same time Wendy Williams was there, and I worked at the Asbury Park Press when the woman that's on Channel 4, what's from Neptune, what's her name? She's from Neptune, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I know.
Pat Battles.
Pat Battles.
Yeah.
Her and I worked right next to each other. And every time I see her on TV, I'm like, you know. But I got sidetracked. Honestly, I got sidetracked, you know, with men and drugs. I would have to say those two things kind of got in my way. Not kind of, definitely got in my way. And, you know, so, but I still managed to get, you know, I still always was able to keep a decent job. And I tell you, I wasn't able to be a journalist, but ended up, I always had wanted to be a teacher too. But I ended up teaching, and it was, I wish I hadn't had to stop, because it was really rewarding. I had both these two at various times, you know, and they were determined. I have to say, they were determined, because I know your brother and sister. She stood out. She definitely stood out. She was becoming like shaking her head. You know, but you guys maintained, and even just graduating out of Asbury, it was a challenge.
Yeah.
There was stuff going on, you know, and
Especially during the time they graduated.
absolutely. So, you know, but So I can't say, you know, I got that terrible pressure from my family, so.
I know we're running out of time, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But real quick, I kind of struggle with that today with my family. I'm the middle child, and I always have to like step up and be the oldest. And a lot of pressures come with that, being afraid to say no. I'll be all the way at school, and I gotta drop somebody off at work, and I live on campus. Just little things like that, because I'm the only one who has a car in my family. Just little things like, you know, and I'm the first to go to a university and graduate and get my degree, so that's pressure there. So they think I'm a carry, you know, take care of everybody, all that kind of stuff. So that's something that I deal with often, but I could talk about it a lot, but I know we got time.
No, it's okay.
But, yeah.
So that's another thing, like,
That's real.
the pressure from the family doesn't always have to be like intentional, like, they're not like saying, do this, do that. Like, my personal situation, like, my mom was battling mental health, my dad was in cancer remission, we were all homeless. And I had the 1-year-old baby, you know, so it was a hard situation. And I had to go to work every day, and I was covering any bills we had, paying for the car repairs, getting the car running. And it took me 2.5 years to get us out of that situation. And, you know, even right now with everybody being better, you know, we're in a small home for 5 people. It's not the best spot. You know, it's only 2 bedrooms, but, you know, it's better than where we were. And, you know, I went back to school. I got into phlebotomy, and, you know, I'm still trying to get better and get farther in life. You know, I'm trying to do my divorce and all that nonsense, you know, just to sort out everything going on. But, you know, that pressure's still there, even if nobody's really putting it on you. You know, because you look at where you're at and you know it's not good enough. It's not where you want to be. It's not somewhere comfortable. You know, so it's like pressure is hard to deal with, and it's hard to carry every day.
It is, and you get tired. But I want to say this to you. Okay, you're not where you were 2 years ago. Look what you have accomplished. Look where you are. And you came right into phlebotomy, okay? And you've taken over. You're amazing. And you do a fine job. You have, I told you, a soft way with the patients, a good way. And you may not feel good, and I can tell sometimes, but nobody knows. Your patients never know. And you're carrying all this weight on your back, but you're doing it. And God only gives us what we can handle. You got broad shoulders. And sometimes we get tired. And so when you get tired, some days you're gonna have to go and say, I'm out. If it's only 15 minutes, if it's only an hour, you have to prioritize you and take that time to do you. If it's nothing more but resting and taking a nap. You do. Like, you're here, right? You're here. You could have been somewhere else, but you came here. This is for you. And you always have to do something for you. You can't be on all the time for everybody else, because you're gonna burn out. And then you also have to go and give yourself a hug and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love me. And I'm doing this. And I have done it. And I'm going to continue to do this. When you told me about, and you mentioned divorce, so you said divorce here. I'm like, what, you're doing that? That takes balls. Yeah. That takes balls, girl, to do this. And I'm not telling you how old she is. She's young. And she's doing this, yes, but she's doing this thing. You're taking care of your mom, your dad, your son, and you're getting rid of that person. That's strong. That's power. Okay? So don't go and cut yourself off and say, you need a rest. So you take that time and you rest. Okay? Okay?
Don't look back.
Marcia?
I fear that I may never be capable of being strong or confident again for myself or my son. So similar, right?
What was, I'm sorry.
Thought you were doing it because.
No, go ahead, I'm sorry, go
Because
ahead.
you can see there's a similar theme that
Uh-huh.
illuminates throughout
Yeah.
all of this. And this, the person is saying, I feel that I may never be capable of being strong or confident for myself or my son, my family. So I think it's similar to, you know, the issues. People are suffering. People are really suffering and they need help. And so, you know, thank God that you have something like this where people can come and share and hear a word or the word. And everything that you said, you know, we weren't born with a spirit of fear. God made us on purpose, for a purpose. Don't look back. We have to escape other people's expectations, start with our own. And every day is a new day. Doesn't matter what happened. Don't look in the rearview mirror. Every day is a new day. Isn't that wonderful? That's a great thing. When we wake up in the morning and we have a new day to do something, and there's always that voice tugging at us, oh, but what about this? You know how you wake up with all kinds of distractions? I wake up every morning and say, you know, Jesus is on my mind. I'm praying the first thing, and then stuff rolls through my mind like a movie. You know, like the bill, the house, the job, the car, the this, the that. It's like a movie screen. It goes, and you have to, as Sister Angela says, you have to stop it. You have to put that stop sign up. And it's a disciplinary process, because the more you do it, the better you become at it. But the more we give in, the more we get stuck into that place, right? And so, don't give up. Be with people who are like-minded. Don't be unequally yoked, whether it's a man, a woman, or a pet. Whatever,
Or a pet.
you know, don't be unequally yoked. You gotta be with people gonna, you know what, there's a thing that says, what good is a song if it doesn't inspire you? What good is a book if it does? Why are we involved in things that don't redeem us, that don't carry us to another place? Life is so precious. It can go just like that. And every day we wake up giving parts of it away to things and people who don't deserve it.
What I like for us to do, gratitude. I want, when you wake up in the morning, I want you to think what you're thankful for. For me, I will say, I thank God for my home, because nobody knows what I may be going through. So I thank God for my daughter and my son. I thank God for my husband, because nobody knows what he's been going through. I want you to find something that you can thank God for, because it could be a whole lot worse,
Oh,
right?
my mantra is I have all I need and more,
Yes.
because I do.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah,
All
that's
I need
awesome.
and more, and then it loosens up the,
Yes.
loosens it up.
And never doubt that you're not doing enough, because you are. You're doing enough. You're working. You're making a life. You're taking care of. You're doing. And that is filling that void right now. And then as you begin to be more grateful and appreciative, opportunities are going to come your way even more so. So don't look back, because once some milk has been spilled, you can't go and put it back in the glass, right? But you sure enough can get a bottle of milk and pour it in the glass and say, yes, thank you, Lord, I got some milk. Okay, you're next, Sonny.
Mine says abandonment.
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 Oh,
What do we want to say about that?
For me, I think about my family again, because I remember how close we used to be, and I feel like the older we're getting, we're starting to separate, and it's so hard to get my family together now, like even for small things like dinner and stuff like that. And the crazy part is that we all live together, so you would think it's easy, you know, but but it's not, you know. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Abandonment is an issue that can cause a lot of problems for folks because we want to be accepted. We have that fear of being rejected. And so we'll stay in situations sometimes because we don't want to be abandoned. And maybe something happened to someone when they were a child and they were abandoned, and that has fed into, oh, I got to stay. You have to stay. Like that song, You're Going to Love Me, from Dreamgirls. Oh, you gonna love me. From Dreamgirls. Yeah, you know, even though the person's like, get off of me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold on to you. I'm gonna do everything I can. And that breaks you down, and it makes you feel less than. Because not only are you afraid of being abandoned, you're also being afraid of you're being rejected. And so you're going to do anything and everything to hold on when it's a toxic situation. It could be a job, it could be a relationship. So the best thing is, you know, you yourself have to deal with the abandonment issue and find the source of that. I'm going to move on to Tati.
This is, I think this ties to everything. Fear of loneliness.
Fear of
loneliness. Everything.
Yes, yes,
It's very powerful.
it is. Yes. Any comments on that?
I feel like being afraid of like loneliness, it's, you know, you're afraid of not having like support around you or feeling like you're battling the world by yourself. But, you know, tying into like the abandonment thing, it's like, you know, you don't want people to leave. You don't want people to disappear from your life or anything. But in terms of abandonment, like my mentality had to change about that, like over the past few years. So it's like if somebody could leave you when you need them, then they're not there for you. They weren't part of your world. They're not supposed to be there, and you could just let them walk away. Yeah, and then, you know, if you have to be lonely for a little bit, then that's just you spending time with yourself and building yourself.
That's right.
You know, because it's, you know, my own experience, you know a little bit about it. There's a lot that I'm still healing from, and that's years later. I can't talk about this stuff, and that's, you know, but
It's okay. It's okay.
you know, but I mean,
But you know what, can I say this, Sierra? The thing of it is that you're here, and you are talking about it, and you're being open about it. That's part of healing. As long as it stays inside, and you keep it covered up, okay, and you wear that mask, it's a mask of deception. It may deceive everybody else, but the one that you're lying to is yourself. When you begin to face that, that's hurting you, that's when the healing begins, by acknowledging it. And like Dr. Field, who's not one of my favorite people, he says you can't heal what you don't recognize. Okay? So it's a good thing. He says
that
something
sounds
like
like
that.
something I used to say to my friend all the time.
Yep.
I'm like, you have to feel to heal.
Yes.
So it's like, you can't imagine it all away. You can't be quiet about it. So I never kept my mouth shut about all the nonsense, you know, like domestic violence, all that stuff that I've been through. You know, I was always the one that was speaking up, no matter how many people came up to me and told me, oh, hey, don't say that. You know, you're making yourself look bad. You're making this look bad. You know, my ex's mom used to come over and say, well, you're embarrassing my family. You know, so it's like, I'm never gonna keep my
Not
mouth
having
shut
her
about
No,
it.
no, no,
That's crazy.
no, that was crazy.
Yeah, he was the one that was embarrassing the family.
Yeah. I'm gonna read the last one. Fear of physical illnesses as I age. Fear of making the wrong decision to stay in my relationship. Okay? Comments?
That's sort of related to the fear of loneliness too and rejection. If you feel that as you get older, what's gonna, you know, you actually have to break that down. What will happen when we get older? I mean, you know, what actually will happen? We'll be alone, people will reject us, we won't have enough money, we'll feel with self-doubt. I mean, it's all like a cycle that we all go through, you know, and it can be traumatizing. Because as you say, Sister Angela, we have to, if we allow these things to invade us, like, you know, little aliens, You know, that's what they come after. They come after you.
Mm-hmm.
They come after you. You know, there's these spiritual things that happen. They come after you. I believe in spiritual attacks. I believe that they look for the vulnerability in us, the fears that we have. Those are open doors, you know, to those things coming. And, you know, whether it's loneliness, rejection, confidence, self-doubt, all of those are like daggers, you know, that come after us. They start with your heart and your mind and your soul. And, you know, so many people are walking around who have given up like that. They're walking around with daggers. Or you walk in a room, you know, upside right, you know, downside right, or whatever. But to walk in a room upside right is partly to do what you're doing, which is really to at least out that. I'm gonna out it. You know, I'm not gonna hold it in. You know, so I'm scared my man's gonna leave me, or if I don't have this relationship, what will I be? How will people perceive of me? I walk into a room alone, or, you know, I don't live the way that other people live. You know, other people live better than me. Oh my God, what do they think? You know, what amazing daggers that we allow to pierce our hearts and our souls and our minds.
So what I like to say to that, all that we have discussed, all of this takes the focus off of how positive and powerful and how beautiful and talented and intelligent we are. When we are in, you know about the vibration scale, right? We vibrate, right? We vibrate. When we're thinking negatively, when we're talking negativity, you know what I mean? Yeah, get it out. So that negative, on a scale where the colors on a vibration scale are dark when you're depressed, when you're self-doubt, when you're angry. When you begin to think better and have gratitude and have positive thinking, the colors get lighter. And that brings up your vibrational scale. And your focus right now is on how am I going to age? You're aging yourself by thinking negatively, acting negatively. If you begin taking care of yourself, stop focusing on the negative stuff and start saying, well, what can I do? How can I make myself look better? So for me right now, I'll use me as an example. I have brought myself, what is that, one of those vibration plates? So I can get up there and shake all this fat off of me.
Get one of them things.
I got one at the Goodwill, 20 bucks. And also I'm taking oil of oregano to cleanse out my gut. And I gotta stop drinking my favorite thing, Pepsi sodas. I love them. And I'm gonna tell you what I did do. I know terrible, but I brought some jelly beans every Easter I do. And I've been having some pains in my knees because I got all that sugar inflammation. And now I'm up here saying, oh, I can't hardly move, and I'm having a problem. And I'll call my daughter and say, please bring me 2 Pepsis. Oh, maybe make it 3. And I know I'm not supposed to have them. So what I'm doing, I have to take care of me. I have to get out. And as far as relationship, and he's sitting over there, but I'm like, hey, you know, I'm a treasure. And you better appreciate me, because if you don't, shame on you, you're gonna have a problem. Am I not right? That's right. So you have to put yourself on that level, and you know, you really do. You have to think higher of yourself. And when you begin feeling that way, you'll act that way. So, it's 2:15. I think that this was a really good conversation. I hope that you all enjoyed this. What I like for you to do, because the next meeting isn't for another month, I'll send you an email. But what I like for you to do is to take the next 30 days, and I want you to do 3 things. 1, I want you to practice being grateful, gratitude. I want you to wake up every day saying, and write it down. What are you grateful for? What are you thankful for? I don't care, I'm thankful I made up my bed. I'm thankful that I have my cell phone still on. But every day. Number 2, I want you to spend time with yourself. I'm asking you to spend 15 minutes a day. 15 minutes, that's all I'm asking. 15 minutes a day. And during that 15 minutes, you are to get to know you. So when you come back, and I see you on that phone, Tati.
I'm
What-
taking notes.
Oh, you taking notes? I forgot about young people taking notes on their phone. That's my baby. Yep, that's good. So what I want you to do is come back here 30 days from now, and you're going to tell me something that I don't know about you. Something that I cannot see. I can see you're all beautiful, but I want you to tell me something about you, something that you found out about you, okay? And the other one is your fear. What are you afraid of? Really afraid of? And how it's preventing you, yeah, sorry, it's 4, thank you. I keep adding. How it's preventing you from doing, from reaching your goal. And that's it. You coming back next month? I hope so. Okay, you coming back? Okay, you coming back? You coming back, Mrs. Riggs?
Oh, you know
I know you are. Juanita?
Yes.
Okay, Marcia?
I'm gonna try.
All righty. If you can't, still do the assignment, go to APTV on YouTube. That's where the show is airing. For those who are at home, I want to thank you. The same thing. You can do the exercises at home. You saw what we did here. You're welcome to do the same thing. You can email me. I'm at Angela Abhez, and that's AHBEZ @gmail.com. And I'm gonna give you my personal cell phone number. I'm thinking about that. I'm just gonna give you my email, but please email me, inbox me on Facebook, because I will be putting this show up on my Facebook page too. Alrighty, but I thank you all so very much. I'm also looking for vendors, anybody that has a home-based business. If you would like to get free publicity, then you can set up over there in that corner. I wanna thank Evan for recording, taking time out of his busy Saturday day and coming in and recording for APTV. Thank you all for coming and being here. Have a good one. Thanks. Thank you, Calvin.